Welcome, Eva. Thank you so much for joining us today. It takes a lot of courage to share your story. Eva developed dysphagia in May 2023 when she was out to dinner with a friend and suddenly started choking and vomiting. Eva was diagnosed with esophageal dysphagia and continues to experience esophageal spasms that cause vomiting. Eva, can you start by sharing with us what it's like to live with this type of swallowing disorder?
Yeah. Hi, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for inviting me to share my journey. Living with a swallowing disorder can be challenging at times. I've learned that mental and meal preparation is key to ingesting nutrition. Also, since being diagnosed, I have really slowed down and live a much quieter and calmer life. Dysphagia has invited me to participate in my wellness and put my needs first. I'm mostly on a liquid diet consisting of protein shakes, and I just started adding fat and vegetables to turn them into smoothies. I've also learned that one day my body likes a particular food and the next day not so much. So I've really learned how to pivot and be flexible at meal times.
Oh, that sounds challenging and a big change for sure compared to what you were doing prior to all of this starting. What, if any, significant lifestyle changes because of your swallowing disorder have you experienced?
I've had to make many changes. I've had to learn which textures, density, and volume works for me, which was really trial and error. And then I started researching recipes and watching YouTube videos of professional chefs who work in hospitals and prepare dysphagia texture meals. From there, I began to learn the different levels of dysphagia and how smooth my food needed to be. I also applied for disability accommodations through my job so that I could work from home and prepare adequate meals. I also learned to really take my time, and I no longer multitask when I'm eating. I always sit at the table, have good posture, and really focus on eating and swallowing. I've also lost 80 pounds since being diagnosed with dysphagia, and so I'm learning to accept and love the body that I live in.
Wow, Eva, that's a huge change that you've experienced with that, and you've had to make so many adjustments to your lifestyle. And like you mentioned before, the flexibility that takes too, that has to be challenging. What have you found that has been supportive in dealing with these challenges?
So I recently joined a support group on Facebook called Dysphagia Support for Nutrition and Swallowing that was created by Kat Ludwig, who is a chef and nutritionist, and Stephanie Tanner Pepper, who is a speech language pathologist. And I found a lot of value in hearing other people's stories and asking questions as well within this group. So after a few weeks of being part of this free group, I decided to sign up for their program, which is called Dysphagia Duo, and they provide one-to-one support. The ladies are absolutely fabulous. They help me plan meals, provide tips and tricks for increasing fiber, adding nutrient-dense foods to my menu, helping me reduce the intensity of spasms and other symptoms. And one of the great things that they do is in their Facebook group, they also provide free weekly cooking and pureeing demonstrations. And they also have family Q&A sessions where our families can ask questions on Zoom. And they also bring in experts to provide master classes. So there's a plethora of support, free and paid, within the groups that they offer.
Wonderful. I'm so glad that you found that resource. It sounds fantastic. Excellent. A couple other things here before we go. What words of hope can you share with our community about living with a swallowing disorder?
So I would say living with a swallowing disorder is not for the faint of heart. One day you are perfectly okay, and the next day you can't swallow. So on this journey, I learned to surrender to dysphagia and realized that I had to coexist with this condition and honor all my needs. So wherever you are on your journey is perfectly okay. Know that you aren't alone and there are others there who are managing this condition as well. I invite you to lean on your loved ones and use your voice and be vocal with your friends, your family, and especially doctors, because you are your own expert and you know your body best.
Excellent. Eva, thanks for sharing that with us. You are your own best advocate. And so thank you for sharing your insights with us. I think this will support a lot of people in our community who are feeling isolated by their swallowing disorder and knowing that they're not alone. So thank you for your time today. We appreciate it.
Thank you.